welcome to episode 2 of the Tyddyn Bryn podcast. It's Wednesday the 8th of February 2017 and lots has happened since I last spoke to you. I've uploaded 2 farm tours and a tin hut tour to the YouTube channel. And this week for the farm I've managed to sort out fencing for the new planting, hedge cutting for the field, and the new planting of trees is now happening on Friday, so that's quite exciting for us. Right, some other happenings at the farm. James has started to oil all the oak doors. I'll try and insert some pictures here. And we are one coat of paint away from finishing our lounge. We've then just got the ensuite and the bathroom to paint. There's a noise in the background again. Ensuite and the bathroom to paint, and we'll be painted completely. It'll be fixtures and fittings time down there, which is really rather exciting. We can also then start moving some bits and pieces in. In other news, little man starts, has his nursery taster on Friday this week, which is a bit scary for me and is plaguing my mind quite a bit. He's starting a lovely nursery and he will only be going for a short time because obviously I'm a school teacher, so I get the holidays free, but yes, still very nerve-wracking. But that also means my maternity leave is coming to an end. Next Friday I am back in work full-time. So I will be back teaching full-time. So the podcasting will probably be happening of an evening from then on in. Knitting. I've got a couple of finished objects to show you this week. This week I have finished James's lovely socks. These are knitted out of a crazy Zauber ball, which I picked up in Loop on the Great London Yarn Crawl, and he is desperate to wear them, but I've had to hide them from him so I could podcast about them before and show you guys before he got his horned hooves into them. So the plain vanilla sock, knitting, as I said, the Crazy Zauber ball. That's the colourway. I have no idea of the colourway. Lost the label on this one. I've done a partridge heel, so the knit one, slip one. Trying to get the light. It's a very grey day outside here, and I've put my daylight lamp the other side to try and balance the light out a bit. But yeah, so I've done a partridge heel, so a knit one, slip one to try and thicken up the fabric a bit. And size 10 socks finished. So that's one whip off the list. The other thing that I managed to finish then is William's little hat. I have, covered in fluff from the fleecy fabric that I've been working with. I've managed to finish the little ears, and if I can, I will insert a picture of them here, where he's actually wearing it. I've also published the pattern, but more about that one later. So there's his little hat, finished. Now we just need to persuade him not to be pulling it off his head every 5 seconds. I have one other finished object as well. I have sewn in the neckline of my grey jumper. Sewn it all in, tried it all on. Photos. I made it probably 6 years ago now, looking at the actual dates on the item, and I'm a lot bigger. I didn't quite make it to size. It's completely my own design. However, there is somebody that it does fit. Zoe of Pins and Needles. There's a photo here. And it fits her and looks so much better on her. So enjoy, Zoe. So yeah, that's what I finished off this past fortnight. What I'm working on, sorry, stretching across there. I am working on still the Deco Mat by Knit Graffiti. Leslie Ann Robinson, I think. The deco mat, I'm making some progress on there. I would say it's probably around about halfway done. But yay, progress. So I need to get cracking and get finishing on that. And I have picked up another one of my whips out of my huge great whip walk of shame pile from last time. If you want to see my whip walk of shame, you need to look on Ravelry now. It's I put them all up on Ravelry. I've admitted to the lot, and they're all there in their glory to see. Well, the last time you saw this project, we had a sleeve. One sleeve for William's jumper. This is the Daydreamer pattern by Jennifer Steengas, and I'm knitting it in the 12 to 18 month size. So hopefully it'll sort him out fairly shortly, actually, the way he's growing. So we had one sleeve. We've now got a second sleeve. So yes, since restarting my Daydreamer, there's a second sleeve, and I am most of the way. I'm about to start the short row decreases on the body section of the jumper. As I said, it's the Daydreamer pattern by Jennifer Steengas, and I'm knitting it up for William. I've decided now that I'm going to finish off the deco mat, in whatever time it takes me, but in order to cast on a new project, I'm going to finish off a couple more of the quick and easy whips. So I'm going to put a face on the owl puff and put a face on the little owl hat that I've got started. That ticks off two more things on my whip walk of shame. So I'm going to cast on some socks for me, because I need some socks on the needles, I think. And I'm going to use this. This is the Heath base. I don't know how well these colours are. There you go, that's probably about the best. The Heath base, it's in the sparkly sock base on my Tyddyn Bryn thing. This is the Heath colourway. There are two skeins left in the shop, actually. But I'm going to cast myself on a pair of sparkly socks. Probably just vanilla socks, just something that's quick and easy knitting that I don't need to use much brain power to use. There's not much brain power around here these days. Right, this week I am going to do acquisitions before sewing. The other week, Jenny from Owl About Yarn and I went to Fabric World, which is in Nantgarry, just north of Cardiff, and I needed to get some more curtain material for the farm, for the utility room and the kitchen, and some tablecloth, and it was one other little purchase. I'll try and insert some photographs of the acquisitions regarding the curtain fabric here. And the tablecloth. The other thing I purchased was some sheepy fleece. Some really lovely, soft, sheepy fleece. More about these later. I've also recently been to a sewing shop in Penarth, which is called So Lovely. Whilst I was there, I did pick up quite a few bits and pieces, so I'll show those to you now. I picked up some lovely navy spotty cord with some they're purple, beige and green spots. I'm hoping to, if I can find which pattern it is, sorry, I've got a little pile of patterns next to me. I'm hoping to make some trousers out of them. It's a Burda pattern. Looks quite a simple pattern. Let's see if they'll work for this. It's pattern number 7050, so hopefully there should be some trousers for me out of that. The other things I bought at So Lovely were this fabulous tractor fabric. It's not entirely sure. I think it's a poly cotton. It's the Fabric Freedom Farmyard collection. I'm going to use this as the interfacing on the facing, sorry, on some dungarees in sort of a darkish brown and grey, again for William, and I'll probably look out and see if I can make some other bits and pieces from this pattern that I've got here, again for William. So this pattern is the Simplicity pattern. It's number 1566A. It's got fleecy jackets, it's got trousers, dungarees or overalls they're called in this. There's t-shirts, there's hooded jackets, oh, everything you could possibly want to make for a small person. Looking at the sizings, if you go on pounds, he's 21 and a bit pounds at the last weigh-in, so he's going to have to go with a large, which apparently is an 18-month size. So that could be rather interesting. So we will have a go at those. I'll cut them out and see where we go from there on those. So there's some little projects there for William. I have also recently acquired some striped jersey from Minerva Crafts and some black jersey, excuse the rustling, from Minerva Crafts. Those I will be using to make at some point. I know I'm going back to work, time is going to come seriously limited. Agnes tops, again, hopefully for work to be fair, and a cocoa dress. I have had this pattern for so long. I really want to make it in so many different fabrics, it's stupid, but yeah, hopefully I'll get cut out and get going on it. The other fabric that I'm going to use to make a cocoa dress, I've got enough of it, and maybe some trousers for William, is this blue jersey that I picked up at the Village Haberdashery in London on the Great London Yarn Crawl. I know I seem to have come home with an awful lot of fabric from a yarn crawl, but hey ho. So those are my acquisitions for a while. I don't think I can acquire any more fabric. I've got all the curtain material I need for the farm, and yeah, I don't think I can justify any more just for the moment. I need to get cracking and actually make some of the bits and pieces. A few more acquisitions then. Some more linen. I went for a walk to Tredegar House. We're not far from Tredegar House at the moment. I went for a walk there with William, and Busy Bees Patchwork has opened back up, and I have picked up some more linen in a sort of a beigey colour. I couldn't resist. He was asleep, and then 1/2 metre of this lovely purple. Is it fireflies? Dragonflies? Fabric. And a little one with little aeroplanes on for something for William, not entirely sure what. And then it's like a little quilt bundle that they do in a variety of different fabrics. For the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I think this one should be the centre panel with the caterpillars on. Yeah, there we go. How fabulous are they? But again, I shall have some time at some point to make up maybe a duvet cover or something. Won't be hugely quilted or patchworked, but I think that might make a nice duvet cover for a cot duvet for William when he does finally move on to having a duvet in his cot rather than just the blankets. Right then, on to sewing. I have managed to do a little bit of sewing this week, mainly at the farm to be fair. I have finished the curtains for the hall, but I can't hang them yet properly because we haven't actually got a curtain pole up. We're going to use half-term week to go and get all the curtain poles that we need, get them put up. So as I make the curtains, I can then just literally put the hooks on them, take them downstairs, hang them, and I can do the finished item photographs. So hopefully I'll insert some pictures here of the nearly finished hall curtains. And I've also cut out the utility curtains in the plaid fabric that I bought from Fabric World when I went with Owl About Yarn. I've nearly also finished some pyjamas in this lovely sheepy fleece which I bought in Fabric World. I just need to get the waistband done. It looks enormous actually at the moment. I've made pockets. I've sewn some pockets in them because I just love having pockets in every sort of form of trouser. It's great, especially with the little one, just to have a tissue in there. In this lovely soft sheepy fleece. Mainly because it's so blooming cold at the farm for the first couple of nights. We need fleecy pyjamas. James has a couple of pairs of fleecy pyjamas and I've yet to get any. I've also managed, in sewing these pyjamas, to work out the overlocker. I've actually overlocked the edges of my trousers. I don't know how well you can see that. There we go, overlocked. So I've worked out, I've threaded it, and I've worked out how it works. Yay! I've also worked out how to take away the cutting bit, because that was getting rather irritating, that I was trimming off bits of the fabric that I actually felt I needed. And I think until I've gotten more practice at the overlocker, I'm going to need to keep that little knife cutting piece out of action. It's a bit scary, to be fair. So yes, I just need to put the waistband on those, but this sheepy fleece is also going to go and make some bits and pieces for William. Once I've cut out the pattern for the dungarees, and the pattern that I showed you earlier, I'm going to make some sheepy sort of pyjama-y dungarees for him, and possibly a jumper as well. I think I've got another metre left of the fabric, so hopefully that'll be plenty to actually make a bit more. Right, another project I've made a little bit of progress on is William's little t-shirt. It's an Elemeno pattern. It's a fitted T2. There's the picture of it. It's a printed out pattern, PDF pattern, and I've cut out the pattern, stuck it all together, and cut out the pattern pieces in the lovely stripy fabric which I got from Ray Stitch. So I'm hoping in the not so distant future I'll be able to get those sewn together, and William will have a new t-shirt to wear. So the final sewing project I've got planned is for a pile of jeans I have been basically hoarding. They're either broken or too small or what have you. I'll try and insert a picture of the pile here. But I intend to make, I've probably got enough to make two, one for James and one for myself. I intend to make the Merchant and Mills Landgate pattern, which is a hooded jacket. Can make it in oilskin, denim, linen, even soft wool. I might then make a wool one at some point, because that would be lovely and snuggly warm for a really cold day on the farm to throw over whatever jumper you've got on already. So that's my plan for James and myself as well. But I'll probably end up making James's first. Right, one other thing I wanted to show you then is the spinning that I've been working on. This has languished for quite some time recently. Sorry, the little one is now down next to me playing with a box full of toys. I can't even remember what the fibre is. It's probably some sort of wool top that I spun up ages ago. I've done the first bobbin and I've started the second bobbin, but I'm hoping to try and do a little bit once a week. But the colours in this are lovely. It's a purples and pinks, and I can't even remember who dyed it or what. Probably acquired it at Wonderwool or Unravel. I'll have to have a look and see if I can find any information about what on earth the wool is. So, a little bit of spinning there. With the Daydreamer sweater, I am using circular needles for it, and Jenny of Owl About Yarn picked up this. It is a needle keeper, or the magic wand, and it's a metal tube with a little knobbly bit on the end that you put your circular needles into. It grips them and protects them from, it says here on the, I've got the bit here, it says here, protects from chewing pets. Use a different colour for each work in progress. Yeah, it's fab. It's stopped my circular needles pulling out of projects. I haven't lost any stitches since I've been using it, and I'm working quite close to the edges with this sweater on this particular cable. And thank you, Jenny. Right then, shop update. The only new thing really in the shop this week is another new pattern. It's the pattern for William's little hat, which is now buried under all sorts of things. It's the pattern for the little bear ears hat. It's a little bear hat. It's now published on Etsy, in my Etsy shop, and it's published on Ravelry and Love Knitting. On Ravelry and Love Knitting you will find me as Ellie Smallcombe, and on Etsy you will find me as tuthinbryn.etsy.com. I'll try and put the link up below here. Right, so that's about it for today. You can find me on Ravelry as Tuthinbryn, Instagram as Tuthinbryn, Twitter as Tuthinbryn. There's a Facebook group, Tuthinbryn, and there's also a Ravelry group. So come along, have a chat, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. Really? And then what happened? I don't believe it. Really? Mm-hmm. Surely not.